It is the Riot podcast. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
It's Tuesday, your Tuesday edition, or whenever you listen to this, because we're not going to tell you what to do.
Well, certainly
whenever
not.
you can get to it. But for us, it's our Tuesday.
Oh, is anybody else ready to just call it a week?
I was curious how your week will be. Last week for Obi was his first full week back at RadioU from COVID, from a long time being, working from home. You really hit the wall on like Thursday.
Yes.
So I'm curious.
Big time.
Yeah, like the COVID fatigue thing that still lingers. But I was curious this week how well you would do, if you're going to last longer, if you feel like you still hit that more than just tired wall earlier than that.
I don't know. It's tough. Like each week has brought its own unique challenges. I was very busy over the weekend. And like last night, I ended up, I was out pretty late. And by late, I mean for morning show host late. I mean, I was home by 8:30, but
we normally don't work during those times.
That's most people's midnight for me right there. So,
see how it goes?
We'll see. The holiday season is it's a busy time for all of us.
It is.
It's a great opportunity to serve and love others and bring you this podcast.
So here's the list of what you can expect.
Today we talk about our fear of the RadioU Christmas tree, but
it's standing strong.
Still there. Nuclear aircraft carriers, KFC films, Galactic Federations. Christopher Nolan says very mean things about HBO Max, and I think it's funny.
It's what you would call when someone's like really kind of mean with some of the things, but he's like opinionated.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just saying it in, I think, a very strong way that might hurt him later down the road.
Reviews are out for Cyberpunk 2077.
And that's out to next week, right? Or this week?
I think it's out Friday.
Is it? I know they had like special versions that have already been sent out, but I'm talking like the normal one.
Cyberpunk 2077 release date. Now, can it give me an updated one? It's December 10th, so Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people that are super hyped. I am not on the hype train. I am waiting.
He's at the station. He just doesn't need to get on the train right now.
I'm just not getting on the train. So you guys, if you're on the train, I hope that you have a comfortable ride. Maybe save me a seat.
Come back and pick him up later when everything runs well on the train.
Yeah. So enjoy the podcast today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Say hello by texting us, 877-2RadioU. I know we had a lot of podcast listeners yesterday afternoon and evening texting us about the KFC, which Obi had mentioned is in this podcast. So we always appreciate if you find something when we're not doing our Riot show, you send us the link and then we can cover it during the next show that we're in.
Hey, never apologize for sending us a news story or something. Even if you hear us say it like, oh, we knew about it, so what?
We appreciate it.
We appreciate that you care enough to send it. And what if we didn't know? We don't want to not know.
What if we would have missed out? So put that you're a podcast listener and your name, and then they'll save it for us for when we come in the studio next time.
All right. Well, you guys have a great day.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
So some really good news is that right now we have the RadioU Whittle Christmas tree.
We do. It's so nice to have in the studio.
Hi, Whittle guy. How you doing?
Chris came in yesterday, set up our Christmas tree, the one that we have like on our desk area, and it's really brought the festive spirit in.
It has. The only thing, and I can't remember if this was just in the podcast or on the air yesterday, is that there's a problem with the star, that it has a hard time staying where it is.
I feel like the star to body of the tree ratio is off. I feel like the star is a bit big for the tree.
It's nice.
It leans a little bit, but I feel like
it's a counterbalance, counterweight.
I'm curious if it'll stay up. And we need to grab the ornaments. We have a few ornaments back there.
Oh, no, I'm not getting them.
You don't want to go back there?
No, it's not that. It's that I'm afraid that if we place an ornament on that tree, which is currently so perfectly balanced,
we'll mess it up.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you that star, if it falls off the tree, bodily harm.
Yeah, I could agree.
It's the kind of star that you use to attack an assailant if they come into your home.
Why don't we just go with a less is more look for the Christmas decorations this year?
You know what, Nikki? Lights are really something.
This is enough, I feel like.
I mean, look at those beautiful LED bulbs.
Well, don't say anything about them. Something will go wrong with the strands.
So. They're beautiful and efficient.
They stay cool to the touch. They're
wonderful.
Just nice.
It's just wonderful.
And our tinsel is dragging a bit on this side, but we'll just take a moment with it.
You do as you will. I am not touching that tree.
I think I could just, push it in. It'll be fine.
I'll just tell you, that's how it starts.
Oh, well, thanks to Chris again for setting up our tree in here.
And he's got a timer on it.
I know, isn't that the nicest?
It's so great. So at 6 a.m., we know that we're running late for the show if...
the tree's already on.
The tree is on. We have a problem.
Well, we get here before 6, so I was tempted to tell him, hey, you might as well turn it on earlier so that way we can enjoy it as we get ready for the show, but it's fine.
I don't know. There's something about the light coming on that's just like,
It's time.
Showtime.
It's time to go.
It's showtime.
All right, well, tree, stay there. Be good. Don't fall over. No one touch it. Don't hit the desk also, because if you hit the desk, even out of happiness, an excitement, it might hurt it.
Honestly, it's like a symbol of joy, but also a reminder of terror.
Just a small reminder.
One wrong move and you're wiped out.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Congratulations to Captain Amy Barnschmidt. She's a helicopter pilot. She's part of the Navy's famous Wolf Pack, and she is going to become the first woman to become the captain of a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier in the U.S. fleet.
All right. Way to go.
Yeah, it's cool. The USS Abraham Lincoln. She was the first female executive officer of the USS Abraham Lincoln. And then, is that the ship that she's getting? I'll have to double check on that. I'm not actually sure. But, congratulations to her. So, Nikki, unfortunately, one of your career goals has just...
Well, I don't think I was a really strong showing in the running anyways. My career there has been not as strong as I wanted it to be.
Well, I told you that if you hadn't mouthed off like that, chances would have been a lot better.
I could have.
But,
Hey, this is the only ship that we steer here. This is it.
Audience of one.
No.
Audience of one.
We're it's a dinner cruise, all right? That's about it.
It's not a booze cruise.
No, it's a dinner cruise.
It's a coffee cruise.
It's a sunset cruise, but it's a sunrise for us.
It's a sunrise cruise.
It's a sunrise cruise.
It's wonderful.
So I'm the captain of that.
Yeah. Isn't it great?
I think it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Might not have the same prestige as, this lady's career, but it's still something.
I mean, I appreciate when you let us stop calling you captain all the time.
Well, we don't have to. It's not necessary. It is a nice sign of respect, but not necessary.
It was only the first couple of years, and after a while, you just kind of let it go.
Well, way to go for her.
Yeah,
so, very good.
It's one of those things that you still see, things like that where if you had asked me, I would have just assumed yeah, sure, that's probably already happened. It's like, no, not yet. And it looks like, and again, this is another one. I saw that Joe Biden is... you know what? Never mind. I don't. Well, no, the reason I say pass is because he has also just nominated somebody to, I believe, Secretary of Defense. And that's the part that I'm not sure about. That's another first.
Sure.
But I can't remember exactly what it is. So rather than mess it up, which I just did.
Mess it up any further, we'll just pass.
I'll just stop there until I get it right.
Listening to the Worst of the Riot is the equivalent of standing in line at the BMV. Ugh. Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
You may or may not be aware of this, but there is a cutthroat competition out there between Hallmark and Lifetime. They are trying so hard to own Christmas.
Even though I feel like maybe in the last year or so, I haven't caught a lot of Lifetime stuff in the mix. It still seems like, I don't know, I feel like Hallmark still owns it.
They do. But here's what I notice, and keep in mind, this is just my particular corner of the world, is that there will be multiple days, and there already has been, in October and November, in which on iTunes, Lifetime will be selling their Christmas movies for 99 cents each.
Oh, they have a lot of them for sale.
They do. And when I look at that, to me, that's like, well, maybe we can slide one in.
They want you to buy one.
Maybe they won't notice.
Throw in the mix, too. Netflix has been trying with the Christmas romantic, movies. They've been trying with a few.
They have, though I don't feel like they have taken the Lifetime approach, which seems to be the same as the Hallmark one. Film 1,000.
Yeah, that's what they do.
But just for this year.
That's all you have to do. Film a lot.
It's kind of the way that works.
I feel like maybe where they film, which I assume is Vancouver, they get like a film 10 movies, get 2 free. Some sort of punch card system.
I don't doubt that for a minute. So everyone, and thank you everyone for loving us and remembering us and sending us yesterday a recipe for seduction. It's a new mini movie coming to the Lifetime Network December 13th at noon. Mm-hmm. And is December 13th, would that be this Sunday?
December, yes, it's Sunday, and it's a mini movie, so I don't know how long it's supposed to last.
But it is all about Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders. The trailer is so good. The line,
so weird.
The line that got me was, he's got a recipe that he says is going to change the world. I don't understand why it was that part that got me, but I was just
you connected with that?
Oh my gosh.
And of course,
it's so good.
He's Colonel Sanders, but
Harlan Sanders.
It's a story. Now, this wasn't the same because you remember the video game that was out?
Oh yeah, the Colonel Sanders dating simulator that I played.
And then there was also the book that KFC came out with. It was just an ebook, but is it what this movie is, or
I don't think so.
It was a romantic book.
It was a bodice ripper.
Something like that.
Do you see the cover?
So they're going to do that.
So I don't know, but I'll tell you this.
I found it. KFC released a free download of Tender Wings of Desire, which was a Colonel Sanders romance novel for Mother's Day back in 2017.
It's so weird.
It is. When you see the cover, it's like he's all fit, and you're like, oh, gosh. Why is he fit?
Mario Lopez is no slouch. I think Mario Lopez as Colonel Sanders is one of the best choices. I mean, you couldn't have done better for yourself. There's something, it is this weird mix of serious and sarcastic that's, I mean, at least in the trailer, was pitch perfect.
I wonder, though, is the trailer, depending on how many this movie is, like it feels like the trailer was almost the whole thing.
It says the movie's 15 minutes.
Well, the trailer covered a lot.
The trailer's 2.5 minutes.
That's a good portion of it.
It is.
So that is coming up on Lifetime on Sunday, the 15-minute romance movie, small mini movie. This is a bit much, but KFC and Lifetime said this is an effort to gift consumers with the perfect distraction from all things 2020 this holiday season.
Well, I mean, they would say that.
It's a bit much, but that's it. That's what everybody sent us last night.
So I thank you for sending it, 1, and 2, whoa.
Countdown to Sunday.
Whoa.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, it appears that according to, what would you call him? Let me read you what they call him, okay? He was some sort of a politician in Israel. Maybe he was but he says that we've made contact with the Galactic Federation.
What does this mean?
It means that there are all kinds of, like, there's a big Galactic Federation, planets. Imagine the United States, but planets.
So with like space armies already, or space force, but over there?
But they've reached out to us.
Okay.
Hey, why do you think we suddenly have Space Force?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because President Trump wasn't quite willing to play ball with the Galactic Federation. So that's why.
So this would be like a Star Trek, Star Wars thing? There's just this war going on up there?
He said the aliens wanted to work with American agents to study, and I quote, the fabric of the universe. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So every place that I went to at the academy, they said, this guy's lost his mind. He's been trying to tell people forever that this thing was real. And so, he's a professor.
Oh, okay.
And he's trying to get the word out now that, hey, this is real. He's 87. The Galactic Federation is real. It's out there. I want it to be real. I want this to be true.
And why do you want it to be real? So that in every movie that you watch with space stuff in it is all like, that's how it is?
He also says that there's an underground Mars base in a secret pact with Washington.
Oh, really?
So, dude, I read the stories, the reports about how President Obama did his high school years on Mars.
You did you?
It's got to be true.
It's got to be. The reports are there.
It's got to be true. How else does it get on the internet?
It must be real.
So this guy says that there's a Galactic Federation. The aliens had to intervene to stop Donald Trump when he was on the verge of blurting out all the secrets. So, but that, Nikki, I mean, it all, when you
read it and hear it like this, it really sounds real, doesn't it?
When you start thinking about it, it starts to make a lot of sense.
Actually, is that the point where you're supposed to be worried when you're like, yeah, I actually could kind of believe this?
No, I think it's real. It's time for them to they say they haven't revealed themselves because mankind's not ready.
Yeah, we've had enough. I don't want anything else. Just hit us up in a few years. So.
Well, but don't you think like maybe we get things settled down here a little bit and then they're like, hey guys, by the way,
surprise,
aliens.
No.
And they're inviting us to go on their cosmic adventures.
No, I don't want to.
Do you guys have any very gifted communicators who are big fans of science fiction, who have been spending too much time in their basement, which is a lot like space travel?
He's ready.
And we can only take people that have had COVID-19 so they can survive the rigors.
You could go.
Of it. It's perfect.
Wow. At first, I was afraid I'd have to go along with you, like in a show setting, and I'm not going. So
what if
I haven't had it? I'm not going.
What if COVID-19 came from the aliens and it was just an accident? Like they just stopped by and they're like, "Oh, we didn't know that we were toxic to you." So
that and the 5G. So it's everything.
Where do you think all this technology is coming from?
All right. Well, thank you for sharing this gentleman's statements concerning the fact that there is a galactic force out there.
Galactic Federation.
Yeah. Galactic Federation.
Space Force. Space Force. Space Force.
I know you really want something to be there.
It's not. That's the real bummer.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Got a quote for you. Mm-hmm. This might be the best quote of the day, aside from the Galactic Federation, which is real. Here's the quote. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service.
It's a bit intense of a quote right there. Who said that, Obi?
Christopher Nolan, the director of Tenet.
He is, he's set in his ways. And he's very vocal about it. And he's been very vocal. Tenet was the movie that was supposed to usher back movies at the end of the summertime. And he was very vocal about, no, it wasn't going to go to a streaming service or anything. It was going to go into theaters. And Tenet made a lot of money, but not in our theaters. Tenet made a lot of money in international movie theaters, but not so much here because there's still so many restrictions.
Yeah, and even I, who was the prime, I was a target audience member for Tenet. I still didn't go see it.
In theaters?
No.
Yeah.
No, I have it. It comes out on Blu-ray next Tuesday. I have a friend of mine who is waving it at me like, already got it. Do you want to watch it? So I don't know where it goes from here, but I'm definitely going to see it sometime in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited about it.
He wanted his movie, and I think all of his movies, to always follow the traditional formula of in theaters for so long, then released, but no different, no other way.
He's a big believer he shoots on film, and he's a big believer in movies in a very particular way. And to be clear, that's fine. Just as a side note, I mean, I don't really consider us radio people to be amazing artists and creative types, but I'll tell you, you work in an industry that's about creativity and a certain amount of artistry, and what you'll find is some really big personalities that have a lot to say about a lot of things. And so
Christopher Nolan yesterday was basically slamming Warner Brothers for their HBO Max streaming deal, where Warner Brothers is releasing their 21 movie schedule. It'll follow the Wonder Woman schedule, where it's going to be on HBO Max for a month and then also in theaters at the same time. Internationally, it'll be in theaters and it won't be on HBO Max.
Right.
And then here, it'll go into theaters only after that first month and then follow the normal schedule.
Yeah, and he is very unhappy. You know who else is not happy is Legendary Pictures. They have deals with Warner Brothers for, I don't know all the details, but they are, or at least the rumor was, that they're going to be potentially suing Warner Brothers, saying, hey, we had a deal, you didn't ask. And so they're the producers behind Dune and Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, or whatever that is.
That's two of the movies people were looking forward to doing the HBO Max deal.
It is. With Godzilla, I could see myself watching that at home. With Dune, I feel like, no way, dude. I want to see that on the big screen for sure. But some of those other things, like The Suicide Squad, yeah, that's
the other one that can come out.
I'm good.
That can be. No one wants to pay more for that, so it'll be perfectly fine.
So he's so harsh on HBO Max, the worst streaming service. Man, there are worse. There's
plenty of worse ones.
There are worse ones out there.
I was telling Obi, though, that Christopher Nolan should watch, though, because everybody always says this for a while, and then as movies and theaters and streaming services evolve over the next so many years, he shouldn't be so blunt in saying it, because eventually things will turn outside of a traditional movie theater schedule.
Nikki,
just how it's going to be.
Emotions fly. Their emotions are high right now.
No, he always seems to be very angry. I don't know if
maybe, but I mean,
is he a nice person? Like, do people consider him to be very nice in the industry? He's sometimes mean sounding.
I don't know, but I love his movies. Does that
means he must be the worst?
He probably is. You know what?
That's how it is. The best movie people are the worst humans.
They make these movies you love, and it's like, please don't ever meet them. Please.
Please don't.
Just don't.
Or maybe he's nice, but
maybe he is.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So, hey, who wants to get the COVID vaccine? You want to be the first person? Too late!
Too late. Someone already did.
It's done. Margaret Keenan, she'll be 91 next week. She just received the COVID vaccine. She was the first person to receive the approved version of the vaccine. Obviously, there's been
outside of testing.
There's been trials, and now there are humans with powers and all sorts of things from those trials. But the actual vaccine that's being issued happened today.
So that is, they're saying it was in the UK, and it's the start of their vaccination drive as they're prepared to start vaccinating people.
The second person to receive it, William Shakespeare.
Not the other one, but he's also 81 years old.
81.
Wow. So 90, almost 91, and an 81-year-old.
Well, they would consider to be at
high risk. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're the ones that are receiving the vaccine. And along with the vaccine, they get a free tracking device.
Do they really?
So the government can keep track of all of their movements. It has a microphone in it and a small camera.
It's like an Alexa or a Google Home or something, just right in your body.
It's right there. And the only thing is, it's a little disappointing when you watch the Margaret channel, because it's mostly her knitting, watching TV.
No.
Like, it's not as exciting as you would expect.
I'd be too nervous to be the first one, because then they're just going to be watching her very closely to see if there's any problems.
Yeah. And of course, there's always going to be stories. There's going to be, millions of people that'll get this vaccine and it'll be fine. And then there's going to be that, well, I heard this one guy, like, his arm just fell off. Like, it just fell off.
But not to the second shot. It's a two-shotter, right? You get two.
Yeah, you get an opener and
a closer. Yeah.
Yeah. So
those are the worst, too, because you're just not prepared. Like, why do I have to have two of them? You got to go back.
What do you have to wait, a month, I think?
Probably. I think that's normally, you at least have to wait that much.
Okay. So, and they say, even though I've had the coronavirus, I saw last night, I was watching them talking heads talking about vaccines, and they were like, well, you should still probably get it because it'll give you a more broad-based immunity.
Well, and then I've also not caught, do we have to get it every year? Is it just the one time?
Haven't heard that one yet.
No one's being very vocal about that part.
Big vaccine will pay for all of this.
Well, I didn't know if it would become like the flu shot each year, even though you're not required to get that one. But, would it be in the list?
Don't know the answer to that. So, you know what is, me, pay the copay. I'm blessed enough, lucky, I don't know, whatever you call it, the fortunate privilege. I have insurance. And so when I go in to see the doctor, and man, I've been so sick, I got like a punch card. I'm in every other week.
For you.
I'm going today.
You're going
I'm going to the doctor today.
But not for anything concerning that.
No, this is just for mental health.
This is your checkup.
That's fine. You can live in that agony for a long time.
If we're doing the vaccine, like I want it to be, remember when you were younger and like maybe your mom would pick you up and you could go get like lunch or go get a toy or something? I'm getting something from Amazon that day.
I was going to say, Nikki, treat yourself.
I'm going to get something just to make that, well, even though they said maybe both the opener and the closer, both times, I can order something for myself.
You know what? That's a great question. If you could visit the treasure box at the end
as a
grown up, like, what do you want in the treasure box?
I want a free movie rental or something. Why can't they just give us that for it?
$5 iTunes gift card, rent whatever you want.
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, I would just that or an Amazon or just a gift card.
All right.
Would be good. Doesn't have to be much, but...
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then, they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on Radio U.
I've got a lot of different ways I could tell you this, but I'm just going to skip the joke and go straight to the punchline. You don't have to be alone today. People will let you down. Circumstances will let you down. But God will do today with you and tomorrow and the day after. Yesterday, I went to kind of a celebration of life for a guy, 20, who just died. And he there were aspects of his life that were pretty rough. He wasn't able to be with his mom. And so he ended up in the he lived with his grandparents, ended up in the foster care system, kind of got kicked around a lot, finally found a place where he got to stay, et cetera, et cetera. And I was listening to his story, and my story is not like his. I got to live with my mom. My parents divorced. But, I was desperate for my dad. Like, oh, my gosh, it was honestly for me, it was awful. And everybody has a story. It's funny. You'll look at somebody and be like, they seem well adjusted and fine. But, they put on their uniform or whatever for work today. But on the inside, there could be a lot going on there, and for me, in the middle of that hard time, and even this guy, I can tell you that he and I both had a relationship with Jesus that changed things for us. My relationship with God has changed things for me. It has not. Listen, it's not like some magic pill. It didn't erase everything, and all of a sudden it was like, wee, who cares? No, it's been Jesus being there with me day in and day out, having that love, helping me work through some things, and also avoid some things. You think to yourself, like, well, my parents did this, so I have to do it. You can change. You can do things completely differently. God can show you a better way to live. And, the list goes on. But I just know this, that today, if you feel like nobody cares, if you feel like you're alone, you feel like you don't have a home and nobody's with you, I want you to know that God is always with you and that he can be your home wherever you are. He never leaves you. He never walks out on you. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, man, it's like the best thing. Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you to be my home. I want you to be my family. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. Stay with me all the time. And it's just a start in a relationship. But I'm telling you, God's never going anywhere. Wherever you go, he's going with you.
We're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
I don't know how many of them are out there because I haven't done a lot of digging. But last night when I sat down and it was time for, my nightly YouTube.
Right before the evening Reddit.
That's exactly what happened. I watch the YouTubes on the TV and then the Reddits on the tablet.
And that's how we gather our news. It's fine. Just learn about all the important things going on.
So last night in my recommended stuff on YouTube, I saw that there was an IGN review for Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
And so there have been lots of previews and this and that's. I've actually avoided almost everything. I've just been like, you know what? Don't tell me. Eventually, I'm going to find out. And so I saw their review. It was like 10 minutes long, and they gave it a 9 out of 10, said it was incredible.
That's an awfully high number.
It is. And, you know, it looks like everyone's saying that it's very, very good, but it's loaded with bugs. And so that's one of those things where I'm like,
well, it's not like they didn't have a lot of time to fix all those. So.
Well, but the thing is, there's a patch that hits when the game releases. The patch is like 60 gigs.
They said it's so massive.
So that patch is supposed to clear up a lot of things. Yeah, some of my friends
so
and I...
don't play it then until you update with the patch?
Well, some people have it early, and game reviewers, like, we don't know to what extent they have the patch or whatever. And so it's just kind of one of those things where... If you want to really have the best experience, wait 6 months. They'll have patched all the problems out.
You might need to give it a little bit of time before, because they were actually pretty vocal, which is why it was pushed back a bit. They said that, you know, when you test a game, you cannot, it's very hard to test a game to get all the bugs out beforehand because they don't have the massive amount of users playing it. All the different consoles seem to be the biggest issue with that one.
Yeah. The other thing I was reading, Engadget had a write-up on it yesterday, is, you know, Nikki, it sounds like there may be certain sections of this game that are a little too delightful.
Keanu's side? Is that it?
No.
It's not him?
So I'm holding back just to see just how bad all that is.
Ah.
You know, delightful.
I see.
You know, certain kinds of delights.
Sure.
That maybe we'll stay out of that cookie jar.
Okay, I see. So just a possible waiting just to find out.
I kind of see.
I gotcha.
But I thought Keanu was in the game very shortly, but it looks like he's all over it. He is, and again, I know very little about this game, but I saw that apparently he is like a cyber ghost that's stuck in your head, and he just pops up a whole lot as you're playing the game.
So like real life.
Yes. Nothing weird about that.
Isn't Keanu in everyone's head?
Doesn't he just show up and talk to you?
Yeah, I thought that was common with everybody.
I don't know what to do. Ask Keanu.
Well, that makes me feel better about it because they put him in so much of the promotion of it.
Yes.
And then in the beginning, I also, too, thought it was like he wasn't really actually in the game a lot. And I thought, well, it's a bit, you know, deceiving, but I guess he's in it more.
I've heard too much about this game. Just release it already. Just shut up and put it out. And then we'll see how it is. But reviews seem to be pretty good.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Buggy.
That's from IGN. I also saw Jeff Gerstmann over at Giant Bomb, which is a website I look at their stuff. He is currently being just decimated on the internet by saying how disappointed he was in the bugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's weird. Have you ever seen people get really angry and defensive on the internet?
I wouldn't want to work on that side of reviews and stuff. It'd be very hard for you to give an honest review. I know some, maybe they're not as honest as they could be, should be, or would be, but there's a lot to that.
It's weird. I just can't imagine angry people on the internet.
It's shocking every time you see it. So that's Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077. Not just any Cyberpunk, Nikki.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
Nikki is never going to make it.
I think I can. I think I can wait till Christmas. But
nope.
I thought, what if I should?
Showed me.
What if I should?
You just showed me.
And then that way I know and I'll return it easier because it'll be such a pain. Everybody's going to return stuff after Christmas. What if I double check?
Okay, let me help you guys. Nikki bought her own Christmas present.
I did not. This is from Eric.
Oh,
I just helped.
Out of their joint checking account, Eric purchased for Nikki, but Nikki did the actual purchasing. The
AirPod Pro
Pros.
Ones. Yeah,
they were on sale on Black Friday. It's fine. I get it.
I got a great price on it, so I was super excited because I've been waiting since they came out, and I think I'm ready.
Now, during that Wolves at the Gate song, Nikki says to me, in what to me was a real shock, She said, hey, I'm going to wait and not open my AirPods until Christmas Day.
They come on Thursday.
And I was like, wow, I can't believe that. Nikki has for as long as I have known her. If you ship her a Christmas present, as far as she's concerned, she gets it right away.
That's the Christmas Day.
She's like, nope, right away. I get it right away. I get it right away. And so I am the kind of person I'm like, no, wait.
You want to wait till Christmas.
Wait until Christmas. Wait until Christmas. That's where I'm at, guys. Mm-hmm. But you know what? It's okay. Well, everybody's got their own thing.
I thought I wouldn't even have a choice because where I bought them from said they weren't going to come in till like the 20th through the 24th. So it's supposed to be right up till Christmas. But that obviously came faster.
So she starts with, I'm not going to open them until Christmas. Within 30 seconds, she has gone to, well, I probably got to open them and make sure they work.
Well, what if I don't like how they feel?
What if I don't like them? Yeah, then I should probably take them back.
Shouldn't I return them before Christmas?
No.
Or will I be disappointed on Christmas?
You'll be disappointed on Christmas. You open them up, and if you don't like them, you know what you do? A couple of days later, everyone has extended return periods. So you just...
Oh, yeah. Where I got them from, I can return them anytime.
Yeah, plenty of time. You just wait a little bit, hit them up mid-January. And
but these go in my ears. I don't want to use these.
You don't have to use them. You just try them, and if you don't like them, then they go back. But see, you're done. You're done. As soon as those show up, they're open and in your ears.
We'll see. Let's see how Thursday is. Every day.
I know you.
Maybe I can. Maybe I can wait till Christmas.
You can.
Yes, I can.
You don't have what it takes.
I already ordered a cover for them too, like a little cute cover.
You don't have the strength.
I do. I do. This is
right now the Nikki that buys Switches. Remember how you lectured us all about being an adult?
That's all you got.
And then you immediately went out and got a Switch?
Give me another example.
You don't
have one.
I don't need one. I don't. I know you.
Why do I have to be strong? Why? I'm strong in other areas.
See?
Why can't I just wear them?
I deserve these.
I deserve it.
You know what? This all goes back to your mom getting you toys after you got your shots. You know what? As a child, you didn't develop the delayed gratification that you needed. And now
I wasn't the only one.
As an adult, you're like, listen, I went to work today. I deserve a toy.
No, I wasn't the only one. Like when I was younger, you'd go and get allergy shots or your back pricked. I would always know when that was happening because my mom would take me to the Hello Kitty store and I could get something. And then it was like, well, what are we doing now? And that's when it would happen.
It's good. Well, Nikki, I'll tell you what. Why don't you open your AirPods on Thursday, and then I'm going to take you in to get your vaccinations.
I gotta go to the doctor. That would be the worst.
We're going to go get your blood drawn.
Oh, that's awful. That'd be terrible. Okay, I'll wait. I never want to open them.
Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
I'll tell you that across this great nation, what we're seeing is temperatures dropping. It's called winter.
Yay.
It's the time when the earth tilts away, and in the southern hemisphere, they'll be experiencing summer. But in the northern hemisphere, we'll all be up here starting to think global warming might really be a thing. It's cold outside, so
Hey.
What?
Hey.
It's a whole thing. It's still cold in my flat. So, all that being said, I think all of us should be looking into more environmentally friendly ways to keep ourselves warm.
Okay.
And so, Nikki, it's interesting, but you like bears.
I love bears.
What about panda bears?
Panda bears? All 4 panda bears.
Okay.
Am I supposed to hug them for warmth?
So, do you know how it is that panda bears keep themselves warm during the winter?
They eat, don't they? You just keep eating?
Well, that's one of the things they do. Sure. Keep eating. That's the answer to all of life's problems.
Suddenly we're all a little warmer, aren't we?
Yeah.
I thought they would continuously eat bamboo and that was just kind of warming your body.
No. They roll around in poop.
Oh.
Fresh poop.
Oh, is that important?
Because it's warmer.
Oh, gosh. Well, we all have our unique things.
This is,
it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's just what it does.
I would say this is a very...
It's not like it has blankets, so it's fine.
It's, quote unquote, a very green way to stay warm, but...
I'm not doing that.
Might be a little...
No. Does that mean you don't have a toilet or what's going on here?
I don't know, but...
Can you imagine finding someone who's doing that and just what all goes with that?
I'm watching a panda right now roll around in a a big pile of horse manure as a way to stay warm.
You mean they would bring in horse poop for it?
Well, they're out in the wild.
Oh, weird. So
yeah, I mean,
weird.
at the zoo, hopefully, they probably have they probably got a Google Nest that speaks panda.
It's just awful.
Brings it up and down. It's voice controlled.
Well, I think there's other ways. I see Amazon blanket deals every day.
Yeah.
So I would just rather load up on blankets.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fine. But, is that blanket responsibly sourced?
It is.
Are you sure?
It is. I responsibly bought it. Yes.
Okay. All right. Because there are other options, Nikki. You know what? Just saying.
So maybe I should take off the list hug a panda as my bucket list for the future.
I just want you to go in fully informed.
Yeah,
that's all. That's all I'm trying to do.
Wow, why are you so warm there? You have no idea.
I have COVID, so I've lost my sense of smell.
I'm sure a panda doesn't smell so great anyways, but that's just, animal stuff.
I'll bet baby pandas smell awesome.
Oh, cotton candy.
And I'm done. That's all I got.
Do you think all bears roll on their poop then? Just not just panda bears, or is that what they've known?
I don't know. I just have photographic evidence of this panda who's just like, it's cold and I don't care anymore.
Stop looking at me.
What do you care?
Don't judge me.
Okay, Google, raise the temperature 3 degrees.
I'd rather just try the approach of keep eating. So I'd rather do that.
That might lead to the
more of the other stuff.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
Listen, I don't want to sound too down on anybody or anything, but it's just give up.
Okay, well, that's not sounding down. That is down.
Just give up. It's over.
What are we supposed to give up on?
Getting that new graphics card. It's over.
Oh, this is actually, it's at least not the model that you wanted, but it's showing you how, it's going to even be harder if this is the one you want.
So you guys know, even if you don't know what it is, I've been trying to get a graphics card for my computer. Now, many of you are like, what does it matter? Just buy one. No. I want the good one.
Well, this company came out with 3. Think of it like small, medium, and large.
And I want the medium.
Obi wants the medium one. They've been out since his birthday, around September.
Yeah.
They've been out for a long time, but there's just not enough to go around.
Not even close.
So if you're in that world, people have this whole thing where they're waiting in line. They go each day to these small retailers that have them. You can't get them online. It's like the PlayStation, everything else. Bots gets them ahead of time. You can't even really buy it on eBay because if you do get it, they're so overpriced. But there's also just a lack of people even getting them to sell again.
Even the scalpers are out there I can't make nothing. I can't get them.
Well, that's why they're able to fill the time with the PlayStations and the new Xbox.
It's true. So now we find out that in China, where the cards are manufactured, they just had a big theft where people stole a bunch of them from MSI, which is a company that makes them, just stole them off the truck.
So it's the NVIDIA graphic cards. This is the RTX. Is it the 3090?
The 3090. That's not the one I want, but
it's the more expensive ones. They stole 40 boxes, so it's about $340,000 that it's worth. They say that because of the security that's inside these warehouses, they think it was an inside job because someone outside wouldn't have been able to know of the setup.
Well, good for them.
So they're looking for who it was, but that means that there's even less that'll be shipped out because those are gone.
Some of us are just trying to get by.
You're trying to just get a graphics card.
Just want to buy one. Don't want any trouble.
Pay for it?
I'll pay for it. I'll wait in line, even a little, to check out. But you know what I don't have? I don't have 72 free hours to just go sit at the door waiting for them to open to see if they're going to throw one out the door. And you know what? I'm mad at these guys in China, but at the same time, I understand.
You understand how hard it is to get, but they didn't need to steal so many.
You don't steal 40 boxes, just steal one.
So local police are offering $15,000 for information if you have it on the theft, or they said that's 7.5 of the RTX 3090s.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, don't offer money. Nobody wants your stupid money.
Offer the graphics card.
Tell me that if I can get information leading to the arrest of this person, that I get one of those graphics cards, and you're going to have 100 people on a plane to China right now combing the city.
They'll find
1,000
them.
people.
They'll find them.
They will find them.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you wanted that version, the 3090, you can expect then less quantity to be available because they've been stolen.
It's funny, Nikki. I was at the store the other day, and I walked in, and it was weird. Like, there wasn't a lot of people there. I was like, man, they got nothing, I'm sure. So I was there for another thing, and I was like, hey, do you guys get any 3080s? And they were like, we got a 70 and a 90. So
they had some.
They had a small and a large, and I was looking for a medium.
Everybody's
it was the only
looking for
thing
that.
they didn't have. And man, I got to say, it was actually kind of fun. A girl walked back. She wanted the small one, and they had it. It was like The Price is Right back there.
Oh, she was so excited.
She was so excited, and I was like, you know what? I can't feel bad about this. That is genuine excitement. Good for you.
She deserved it. She'd probably been waiting since it came out.
She did. I thought it was great.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You know, it's been a year of us having to do things a little differently, see things a little differently, be okay with it.
Not see things.
You're like, it's fine. I'm okay. It's fine. It's been a fine year. Mm-hmm. And Nikki, here's one more thing you're going to have to do without. IKEA's catalog.
Oh, they're not coming out with one? Like a physical one?
It's halting publication of a physical catalog.
Honestly, I haven't looked at the physical catalog in a few years because they went with digital, and I haven't gone to IKEA in a while either.
Well, I haven't gone anywhere in a while.
But you still wanted the option.
You know.
If you wanted the big catalog.
Come on.
I don't know. Every time you get something from IKEA, you just get mad at it. So I'm sure the catalog's no different.
Now, that's true. That's true. Do you know, Eric normally does the building, I know.
Yeah, sure.
But you know those little, like, silver things?
That you have the
you
screw
hammer it
inside?
in and it's got the screw?
Yes, inside.
Can you just go in and buy some of those?
I'm sure you can. There's the little parts area. If
Okay.
you go in the floor where you check out, if you go to the side, it's all these random little parts.
Well,
I think they used to have it. I don't know if that's still a thing, but there was always a place you could go for little parts.
I walked in on one of my roommates the other day in the middle of an enormous mess. And I was like, what the heck happened? And they were moving a shelf, and the shelf came apart. And I was like, well, that shouldn't have happened. And I looked, and on that one side of the shelf, it's missing those locking pieces.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'll go to IKEA and get you some of those, probably. It's right over by where I work.
No, you should be able to. If not, you can probably buy them somewhere.
Just steal them out of a box?
No one said that. It'd be hard to find which box. It'd be hard. I think someone would notice.
Those are everywhere.
But I think someone would notice if you're opening up the boxes in the warehouse.
No, Nikki, that's how. You know what?
That's how they get you.
You're a sweet kid. What you do is you go with a friend. You have them start a small fire in one of the
other parts,
upstairs areas. All of that panic leads to a distraction. You crack open a shelf, take a couple of pieces, and you're out of there.
I think there's an easier way. I'm not going to even use the word honest way, but I think there's a section there used to be where you could go and ask at least.
Okay. If that's how it is.
If that's how we got to do it.
I mean, your way is a lot harder than my way.
We could have told if there was the physical catalog to look, but there's not the catalog anymore.
Thanks for not printing it, IKEA.
So if you are a fan of it used to be more of an iconic sort of IKEA catalog thing they would always come out with. That's no more.
It's all going away. Now what am I going to look at in the bathroom? Just kidding. I only look at my phone.
So we don't need it.
And
where the catalog is.
And then I take my phone that I've had in the bathroom with me, and I set it on the counter in the kitchen, and I set it in your car.
Stop.
And I hand it to you to show you something. What?
No problem at all.
The Riot RadioU.
Jared Marc there. You know, he's been around. We know him. In fact, right here, I'm sitting in this chair, and 2, maybe 3 years ago, maybe not that long, he rolled a cart into this room.
A coffee cart?
A coffee cart. And from behind that coffee cart, he taught me a lot of things about coffee. And to be honest, looked down on me multiple times when I discussed my coffee, how I drank it, things of that nature.
And it always bugged you ever since. Is that it?
Then, last week, here I am in the studio living my best life, and I see this tweet from Jared Marc that he is out there drinking Folgers coffee he's brewing in a Mr. Coffee pot.
Which would be not the Jared we would know from previous years.
And, okay, people live their life. It's fine. But every once in a while, something comes along that sticks in my craw.
Does it bug you?
And I can't stop thinking about it.
Why?
Well,
so he's making coffee like normal.
I can't tell you how many times over the last couple of years that I have gone to make coffee and the ghost of Jared's disdain has joined me at my coffee making station.
You hear his voice every time?
To criticize me over how the coffee is being prepared.
Listen, guys, you don't know how when you say something to someone, it'll affect them.
And so many times I have tried to please the Jared that lives in my head to show it that I'm doing the best I can with what I have.
Sure.
Et cetera, et cetera.
Now, his response was, in 2020, this is it. This is just what he's doing right now. So it's not maybe a forever thing. Maybe he'll get back into more creative ways to make his coffee.
Well, and that's the part that's hard. Now he's like, I'm drinking Folgers, which even I am like, bro, come on. Even I, with my low standards, have a higher standard than Folgers. Okay? And he's putting it in a Mr. Coffee pot.
Well, what if, though, that's amazing? What if, we all
can confirm, not amazing.
There's other types of Folgers. What if you got a different type? What if they always say, like, there's that, it's not midnight, but there's like this one type of the canned coffee that's supposed to be amazing. Yeah. And what if the Mr. Coffee pot is like, there's a reason why everybody uses them?
Well, we have a Mr. Coffee pot. The reason you use them is they're cheap and they're everywhere.
And then if
you buy them at Costco and it breaks, you can take it back and get another one.
Take it back and not feel bad about it.
Now, I say all this to say now the ghost of little Jared that lives inside me when I make coffee, he and I are now having, like, he was gone for a while. Now, every time I make coffee, he's right there.
Because you're thinking he's making it.
All I'm doing is I'm thinking about Jared and I'm thinking about him drinking Folgers. And I'm pouring my coffee in and I'm just like, somewhere right now, Jared's drinking Folgers.
As you're doing a pour over.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do all that.
What? I don't know if I should be grateful for the journey he took me on or be angry for the way he betrayed me in the middle.
You're gonna have to work that out.
I don't know, but it's fine. Like what I probably should do is talk to the real Jared instead of the Jared that lives inside my head.
Yeah, and then you'll find out.
But
so Jeremy texted, that's the one. Folgers Black Silk. Everybody says that one's really good.
Sure it is.
Open up your heart. Maybe it is.
Thing is, you know what? It's really good. Now, up until now, we've just been drinking. I just go out, I get a shovel full of dirt, I put it in the coffee maker, and we drink that. Hey. But we just got this Folgers Black Silk. Wow! Woo!
Maybe it's better.
Maybe it is.
Now, don't you become how Jared was years ago.
I'm not. Except I have a standard. It's just a low standard. We have to do better than Folgers, but it'll do in a pinch.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
I told you.
It's bad.
I told you to stay out of Australia.
Well, yesterday we talked about the snakes at gas stations and
snakes at the gas station. And you need gas to live.
It was basically this trending one. No one really could pinpoint like where this photo came from, but it was a snake coming out of a trash can.
Looking for a snack.
Now, it was a harmless snake. But then they were also talking about another more recent viral snake story was a venomous one that had been underneath a car. And then when that car got to a gas station, it got off and then went out and was wrapped around the nozzle, like when you're filling up with gas. So there's a lot of snakes that in Australia you could just come across.
It's no good, man. It's no good. And here, check this out. What's the other animal that I hate? Snakes. I hate snakes.
And then you don't like spiders?
No, spiders are fine. I mean, I suppose if a spider was as big as my hand, I'd be like, okay, I don't like it.
They have is it the huntsman one or whatever? They have this really big spider that's like deadly. So
sharks, Nikki.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what's the chance?
Apparently pretty good, because here we have, I don't even think I've got the guy's name, but he goes out surfing at Kangaroo Beach.
Aww.
How sweet is that?
I know to them, kangaroos they're not as, majestic as we think.
So
they'll eat them. It's like a deer here. So
he goes out on Kangaroo Island, on the beach there, and he goes surfing. And all of a sudden, he feels like he's hit by a truck. It is a great white shark that has bit him, and it grabbed him. It said around his back, butt, and elbow. So like it basically came up behind him and whoom, and his elbow got stuck in it. It took a huge chunk out of his surfboard, and he started fighting with the shark. It let him go, and he managed to get up on shore.
So he survived?
He did survive.
Good.
And, I mean, he's going to have some scars, but, like, he didn't lose anything, which is amazing if you think about it. Nope.
Don't want that.
That's all I need to tell you. They have snakes and shark attacks. Out.
And the spiders, you just can't.
Well, the spiders, like I said, I'm dumb enough not to be too scared of them. But
those just pop up anywhere. Those you're more likely to come across that than you are a big giant snake or a shark.
Okay, that's fair.
Like that's normal. Like here it is in your shoe that you just had by the door.
You know what? Maybe I should I got an idea. How about I just walk around like I'm in Australia, but I have a flamethrower?
I don't think you're allowed to.
So it's like you'd see me now, like I'm walking across campus. I got my backpack, but what you don't know is that's not a backpack. I don't have any books in my book bag.
Here, I'm going to send
what I have is an unlicensed nuclear accelerator.
That might be a bit much. I'm going to send you this spider because it was on my For You page. Basically, one of these was in a group of girls were driving in their car, and it was on the ceiling. It had gotten in.
Okay, listen. Okay. Look
at this thing. Wouldn't you be more scared of this spider than anything else? This scares me more.
Okay.
Did you look at it?
Yeah.
Did you look at him?
So, okay. Maybe this is not about which one's worse. Maybe we just agree. We go right back to the original premise. Stay out of Australia.
Because there's too many things.
There are too many things there that have been apparently designed by the Lord to keep people out of Australia.
Well, I guess the huntsman spiders, they're called like giant crab spiders because they're so big. They're not considered to be as dangerous. They have venom, and a bite may cause some ill effects, they're saying, but they're not going to probably kill you.
Okay, see, this is the part that nobody seems to understand. This is what they don't get. The ongoing terror of having survived the ordeal. I don't want to die.
You just can't cope with what happened.
But I'll just tell you, the mental scars are going to last so much longer than when, like, the scar is just gone. Like, it's all healed up and it's fine and whatever.
We live in an area where these things don't get this big, so they're just not around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. My depression is the price. I got that winter depression, but you know what else I got? Winter.
It keeps all these things from growing too big.
And they're just like, they can't take it. So it's hard on me, but I'm alive.
Is that the trade-off?
You know what? I'll pay it. I'll take it. I don't want to live with those things.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
I had a chestnut, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm going to sing a song about it.